All right, away we go. So tomorrow is Tuesday, the 23rd of June. Oh, by the way, to all the fathers out there, happy late Father's Day. Hopefully you had a beautiful day. And for everybody else, happy summer. Here in New York, I think everywhere else, it's officially summer, but it's not really feeling like summer outside. But the thing I wanted to talk about today, and I'm not going to spend much time. I'm waiting for a couple more people to come on before I get into this, but I want to talk about retirement because this comes up so much in all of our meetings. We talk to hundreds of people every single week. And the common denominator across the board as we're talking about becoming your own banker is retirement, but not in a good way. It's usually in a really kind of scared way, in a fearful way. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have enough saved for retirement. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, afford to live the lifestyle I'm used to living with our family into retirement. Or the saddest thing, and I just heard this the other day, I'm going to have to wait a couple more years to retire. Now, the average person, is not retiring as early as they could. Okay. So let's just talk about that. If most of your money's in qualified retirement plans, you could pretty much retire anytime after 59 and a half. If you wanted to retire prior to 59 and a half, you'd have to figure out like a 72T distribution, which we're not going to really get into. You'd have to figure out some way to be able to drive an income without accessing your retirement dollars, because 59 and a half is the magic number the IRS gives. If you take it out prior, you pay an early withdrawal penalty. So what a lot of people are doing is they're waiting, not till age 62. Back when I was a financial advisor, like most people took their retirement between 62 and 65. But with inflation, with all these concerns, these fears that people have, people are retiring later. 70. God, that's even hard to say. Think about that. You work your whole life and you have to wait till 70 just to maximize Social Security. Like, you literally have to work when you don't want to. You want to be enjoying your life. You want to be living out your bucket list, but you can't because something somewhere didn't go right. And let me kind of throw another thing that's a big fear for a lot of people. Another fear is, what if another recession hits right before I'm going to retire? So baby boomers, I'm talking to you. Okay. And, not to single out the Gen Xers or the millennials or the Gen Zs or any of them. Okay. But I'm primarily talking to all of you baby boomers. Do we have any baby boomers on here right now? How many of you are baby boomers? Tell me over in the chat. Here's the thing for the baby boomers. If you're retired already, this training that we're going to do tomorrow from 6 to 7, it's totally free. Tomorrow, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to go in, and this is for all of you baby boomers. Now, whether you're retired already and driving an income or you're not retired, it's for you. Because here's the biggest thing we hear in terms of fear is, what if there's another market crash? What if there's another recession? What if it's prolonged? What's going to happen? Listen, right now, we are witnessing the longest bull run in history, which means everybody's had the wind at their back. They've had the tailwind, okay? Because the markets have just been going up and up and up and up and up. But if you follow cycles, the Benner cycle, you can look at, there's a whole bunch of them. You will see that never continues. Never. So we might make it to the end of the year. Maybe it goes a little into 2027, but eventually the music will stop. And are you ready? That's the real question, because the fear part comes in as you've been taking risk. Most people, their advisors have had them in risk assets. Risk assets are stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, the stock market, because they've been trying to grow, because a lot of people are just a bit behind the 8 ball in terms of how much they need, because listen, let's put it into perspective. $1 million, let's just use round numbers. You can work down or work up from there. $1 million, according to the withdrawal rate that they say you can take, is going to give you between $30,000 and $40,000. 1 million equals $40,000 sustainable. Now, if you push that to 50, your chance of actually not running out of money drops significantly. If you push that to 60,000, you're talking about a 6% withdrawal rate. I don't know how you're going to pull that off. And neither does the math, and neither do the statistics. So $1 million is worth 40 grand. How many of you can live on $40,000? Well, I can, and I bet none of you can either. So here's what tomorrow's training is all about. Okay, we're going to solve that problem. that fear of what if a recession happens, that fear of running out of money in retirement, that fear of inflation chewing away your retirement dollars and you didn't even get to enjoy them. All of these things are fears that we're going to address tomorrow. Fear of healthcare costs going up. How do you mitigate all those in retirement? It's really simple. It's actually way simpler than most people think. And that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about a product, and it is a product. Okay, normally we talk about a process, but tomorrow we're going to be talking about a product called a MYGA. Okay, all of you know what a CD is, right? You go to your bank. They always got the posted little placard, CD rates. Okay, and a lot of people buy them, especially baby boomers love CDs because they provide guarantees. But you're getting ripped off with CDs. You're not getting ripped off. That's the wrong word. But you're not getting the most you could. Not only that, most CDs, unless bought within an IRA, you're going to pay tax on the gains. So every year you got Uncle Sam coming in, stripping away some of your gains. So if you got 4% in a CD, you didn't get 4%. You got 4% minus whatever taxes you pay. And God forbid you pass away while holding a CD because that's a probatable asset. Now, you see, the insurance industry has a product that was built to basically compete against CDs, but it's way better. And it's called a MYGA. Okay, it is 100% guaranteed. Okay, but the rates are much higher. Like I'll just put it into perspective. And granted, folks, there's a bunch of disclaimers we're going to go over. But anything over $100,000, if you went with a 7-year lock, which means you lock in the rate for 7, you can do 3, you can do 5, you can do 7, you can do 1 year. It's up to you. But if you did 7 years at 100,000 or more, you can get 6.5% guaranteed. We'll talk more about this tomorrow. But think about that. A lot of people want, they aren't even getting that in the stock market over a long period of time. I think the average is up to like 9-10% in the stock market. But if you could get 6.5, that's way better than you're getting in your bonds. And I love bonds. But MYGAs right now, and I do preface right now because that will not stay. We're just in a heightened yield curve and we're in a heightened interest rate cycle, which will not last. So timing is pretty important for this. But we could show you how you can guarantee growth in a portion or all of your retirement. Now, a lot of people I've worked with lots of seniors, they just want guarantees. They don't want any risk anymore. They've done enough. They've taken enough risk. They've seen the ugly side of that. They just want guarantees. And that could be some of you, right? That probably should be some of you that just want that word guaranteed. Great. We're going to talk about how to guarantee, but let's shift gears here real quick. I love, we got Clara on here. Sean has been posting it right over in the chat and floating below. You can see there, that's the link for tomorrow's training. It's 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay. It's totally free. You just have to register and we're going to be going into all this, but here's another thing we're going to be talking about tomorrow. We're going to be talking about guaranteed income. Now, I know some people, especially, the silent generation knew this very well. My grandparents, they all had pensions. My dad and his wife have a pension, but for most all people, unless you're a federal employee or a state employee, or maybe you got lucky and kind of got the tail end of one of those old defined benefit pension plans, you probably don't have pensions. Okay. You have defined contribution plans, which are 401ks, 403bs, 457s, where you're the one that has to determine how much money you're going to save. And you're also the one that has to distribute that money during retirement. In a pension, you knew that if you put 20 or 30 years with a company, with the state, with the Fed, with the, whatever large company you work for, you were guaranteed a paycheck. Now, during 2008, we realized some of those guarantees weren't really all that guaranteed, but nonetheless, you get a guaranteed paycheck. Now, that felt good for a lot of our grandparents and maybe some of you listening, right? Pension is such an awesome thing. I used to talk about tier 1 teacher pensions. They were like the almighty because you retire and, you got a check for the rest of your life. And that check was indexed for COLI, which is cost of living adjustments. Okay. Or inflation, as some would call it. That was a beautiful thing. But the majority of the people that we come across, and the majority of you probably don't have a pension. Do any of you have pension plans? Because if you do, that's awesome. That's just awesome. I don't know why somebody posted T Sports Live, but Fatima, thank you. Sure, it's a good game. Enjoy. But some people don't want to watch a sports game. They want to know how they can guarantee their income in retirement. And that's what we're talking about here. So what we're going to talk about tomorrow is we're going to talk about guaranteeing your income stream, like a pension, but doing it privately. And we're going to show you how to do that. And right now, you're going to be blown away at what the payout rates are. Like I said, we're in one of the higher interest rate cycles we've been in for a long period of time, long time, like 23 years. In my case, I've never seen rates this high in the 23 years I've been doing this. So tomorrow, join us, okay? 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. The link's right there above. I'll have Shauna post it again, but you can see right here, and I'll show it down there. That's the link. So just copy and paste that right over in the comments. And what that will do is get you registered for tomorrow's workshop. And we're only going to go an hour tomorrow. I'm going to keep it really short and concise. And there is no other event that we're going to be pitching on that one. This is just raw data. I'm doing it. I'm going to present it. I've been around these vehicles for a very long time, and I've also seen the downfall of where people are right now when it comes to retirement. It's a sad state of affairs. It really is. Some of you are probably more than set, but you know what? Wouldn't you like to still guarantee a portion of your portfolio? Wouldn't you like to guarantee a portion of your income? This is the final thing I'm going to say for this mini little StreamYard here. Imagine this, okay? You went through your budget and you figured out how much money you needed this year to provide just your basic expenses, your mortgage payment, your utilities, your food, whatever are your basic expenses that every year they're about the same. Granted, they got to be indexed for inflation, but they're about the same, right? So you know what that number is, folks? Okay, great. Imagine if the income check that came in to pay for all those fixed expenses was guaranteed to never not come in for the rest of your life, and possibly for the rest of your spouse's life if you so chose. Just imagine if you could guarantee just that portion of your income. How much better would you sleep at night? Probably a lot better, because you wouldn't worry about, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to afford the mortgage? Are we going to be able to afford the utilities? Are we going to be able to keep the lights on? Are we going to be able to afford the dinners and everything else? Now, then you got your risk assets, your portfolio that your advisor, maybe PMC, wealth advisors, whoever else you're working with is managing. Sure, that's your risky assets. I don't want to call it risky, but that's your invested assets where you're trying to get a better return than what you can get on the guaranteed side. But you know what? I'm just going to preface, this is a lot of variables, but depending on your age and several other things, your payout rate on the guaranteed income side could be double digits. Guaranteed. That's right. That's the magnitude we're talking about here. So just imagine if that income paid your basic expenses, took the pressure off your portfolio so that when the markets went down, you didn't have to draw from your portfolio, which is like that's death right there. That's death for your portfolio. If you're taking an income from your stock and bond portfolio and the market goes down, you are going to learn very quickly what so many people learned in every other recession, namely we'll call it 2008, what a drawdown effect is. It is very few people ever recover from that. And I don't want that for you. So please, tomorrow, earmark that hour, 6 to 7 p.m. Tell your friends about it. Do me a solid. Send this to your friends. Let them know about this. I bet you they want to find out about this. You shouldn't be the only one learning about these things. So tell people. Say, hey, listen, this guy Chris is putting on a retirement little seminar, a retirement workshop tomorrow. No cost at all. Here's the link. And you're going to learn how to guarantee your retirement. That's right. That's all we're going to talk about. So get the link, click it, and I will see you all tomorrow from 6 to 7 o'clock. And with that, let's see. So he'll be in class at that time. No worries. We're going to record this training. And then what we'll do is we'll probably replay it a few times, because I realize, like, listen, on a Tuesday, 6 to 7, people got things to do. Totally get it. So what we'll do is we'll record tomorrow's training, and then we'll replay it another time. Maybe we'll replay it a few times. Again, no cost, because you don't have to pay anything for this. But it's really information that you all need to have. And not only you, your family members. So invite them. Your friends, invite them. All the people you used to work with, the people you're close with, invite them. Why not make this a party, right? Hey, look, Susie's on. Oh, Jim's on. This is awesome. Now we can have some fun. But I'll see you all tomorrow, 6 to 7. Thanks, Clara. Thanks, Mark, and everybody else who's on. We'll see you then.